Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to do 3 different videos on being able to set up this test. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Because we want you to do the best you can. Those of you who like substitution, then we'll talk about how just to set this up for substitution. Those who like elimination, we'll do a video with just setting it up for elimination. And if you like graphing, we'll set up a video on how to just solve this using graphing. All right, so we're going to start with this one. I'm going to go ahead and tell you how to use the calculator that you need to use. We're not just using Desmos, but we're using desmos.com/practice because this is the calculator you'll be able to use on STAR. So you need to get familiarized with it. You choose assessment and you type in Texas, which is the STAR that we're taking. These are the 3 types of calculators you have. We're going to stick with this one at the bottom because it's algebra 1, and we're just going to hit start. This is going to get you used to what you're going to be able to do. So when you're graphing, your equations have to be in y equals, which is something very important that we need to practice on making sure we know how to solve for y. All right, let's go with the first question. A customer at a store pays $64 for 3 large candles and 4 small candles. At the same store, a customer paid $4 more than the first customer for 1 large candle and 8 small candles. The price of each large candle is the same, and the price of each small candle is the same. Which system of equations can be used to find the price of dollars for each large and small candle? So you're trying to find the cost. So that means that X is going to be the cost of the large candies, and Y. You're going to put the number that goes with how many you got. So you had 3X plus 4Y. Equals 64. All right. We would cross out all the ones that do not have what we have. So it would be this one and this one. All right. It says that the second customer paid $4 more. So $4 more would be that they paid, and that's what I'm going to leave you at because that's going to help you figure out what the answer is. It paid 4 more than the first customer. So on the equation that I wrote already, you should already know how much that customer paid for 3 large candles and 4 small candles. All you got to do is add $4 more to that total, and then you should be able to get your equation for the second one. And we didn't use any math in there, no substitution or anything. All right, here's this one. This one you're going to have to solve, and how do I know that? Because it's asking for a length of a certain thing. All right. A bus travels 2 different routes, the green route and the blue route. The routes are different lengths. On Monday, the bus traveled the green route 6 times, and the blue route 5 times, traveling a total of 52 miles. On Tuesday, the bus traveled the green route 12 times and the blue route 13 times, traveling a total of 119. The green route, what is the length of the green? So what I usually want to start off is I need to figure out what they're talking about. I always told you that in the first sentence, they always told you what the 2 things they're discussing. And you want to label the first one X and the second one Y. So everywhere we see green route, we're going to put X, and everywhere we see the blue route, we're going to put Y. And then the numbers are going to be what's in front of it, the coefficient. So 6X plus 5Y equals 52. And the second one would be 12X plus 13Y equals 119. All right. That means that they want the X. Now, in order for us to solve for X, we need to be substituting what Y is. So I'm going to take that first equation and I'm going to write it down here. We're going to solve it for Y. In order to solve something for Y, the first thing you have to do is move the X over to the other side. And anytime that you move something, you're always going to end up changing the sign. So 52 stays the same. The 6 is going to become a minus 6. Alright, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everybody by the coefficient of y, which is 5. If you don't want to work with fractions, that's okay. You can change this to a decimal. So y equals, if it doesn't come out to a pretty decimal, then you would have to leave it alone. So over here it says 52 divided by 5. That's a good decimal. And how do you know it's a good decimal? Because you only have one decimal point. So if it has 1, 2, maximum 3 decimal points, you're okay. If it has a lot, then you just want to stick with the fraction. And then 6 divided by 5. So 1040. 10.4, I don't know why I said 40, 10.4 minus 1.2x. All right. All of that right there is still step 1. I'm going to set up step 2 for you, and then you need to solve the rest of it on your own to figure out what the answer is. So 12x plus 13, parentheses, because we're substituting what y is, 52, not 52, why did I say 52? 10.4 4 minus 1.2x parentheses equals 119. Alright, and then that's it. You're going to solve that and solve for x, and then x would be your answer for this problem. Yes, you can. Alright, which graph best represents the system of equations? Alright, well, since we're going to be using Desmos, what you can do is go ahead and solve this for y so you can graph it. Now, why are we not solving this substitution-wise? Because this is substitution video. You're not solving this. All you're trying to do is figure out which graph would match it. So we would have 4y. I'm only going to solve the first one. You should be able to remember how to solve the second one. It'd be negative 16 minus 8. And I hope that you notice that I forgot to leave something off. It's not just positive 4, it's a negative 4. You have to take the signs with these things. Okay. We left negative 16 on its own because it was on the right side and we're trying to move everything to the right. I did change the sign of the 8x because it was positive on the left, so now it will be negative. And then we would divide everybody by negative 4. If you don't want to simplify this, like let's say I just don't want to do the math, then you can type it in the way you have it there. So it would be y equals negative 16 divided by negative 4 minus 8 divided by negative 4x. And then it grabs it for you. I didn't even simplify it. I just went ahead and wrote what I had. Okay? And then you would look for what the x-intercept and the y-intercept is and try to match a graph for that. So we have negative 2 and positive 4. Negative 2 and positive 4. So this one might be the only one. But this one's also, okay. You just have to make sure you match it up. I think I already gave you the answer for it, but let's move on to number 4. I always end up doing that, don't I? Try to help you out and then end up giving you the answer somehow. All right. Tables are ordered pairs represented from some of the points. Okay. We had this one on quiz number 1. Okay. You're taking the ordered pairs that are easiest, and you're going to plug that into the first equation. So 3 times negative 9, and then minus 0 and no parentheses because there's no number in front of it equals negative 27. If it does equal negative 27, then you would go on and use the other ordered pair on the other table to see if it would match. I would use 0 and 8, and I would put 0 plus 2 times 8 and see if that equals 18. if the second equation does match, it does equal what it's supposed to, then that means that the answer would be A. Okay? If 9 times negative 3 minus 0 equals negative 27, then we would go to the second equation and plug in the 0 and the 8. Remember, I'm getting these ordered pairs because they're from the table. I plug it in, 0 plus 2 parentheses 8 equals 16. If it does, then that would be my answer. The ordered pair that you plug into the corresponding equation must come out to equal what the equation says. That is the only way that you will say that it's a true statement. All right, here's this one. This one's already done perfectly for you to be able to set up as a elimination. You're substituting the x. So 7 parentheses 2y minus 4. I'm only setting it up and then you have to solve it all the way on your own. Close the parentheses plus 5y. Oof, that's an ugly 5, right? Let me erase that. 5y equals negative 16. All right, you would go ahead and do step 2, which is solving for y. Okay, but you have to notice that this does not want you to solve for y. It wants you to solve for x. So it's making you do step 2 so you can figure out what the value is. Okay, so step 2 would be solving for y, figuring out what y is, and taking my answer and plugging it in here, because this is the one where I want to figure out what x is. So I would go ahead and solve this equation down here, and then I would plug in my answer back into this. I'm going to leave it with parentheses right here to let you know, hey, you're plugging in minus 4. Whatever that evaluation gives me when I plug it in, then that would be my answer. All right, which system has no solution? Remember, no solution means that they're never going to touch. So which graph of these shows you that they're never going to touch? All right, here's another equation. 2 customers went to a post office to buy postcards in large envelopes. Each postcard cost the same amount and each large envelope cost the same amount. The first customer paid $12 for 14 postcards and 5 large envelopes. The second customer paid $24.80 for 10 postcards and 15 large envelopes. All right, so we're going to go and figure out that, hey, the postcards are X, the large envelopes are Y. So X, Y, X, Y, and then this one wants us to solve for Y. All right, so the first one is 14X plus 5Y equals 12. And then the other one is 10X plus 15Y equals 2480. All right, I want to solve for Y, so that means I want to get X first and then be able to plug it in. All right, this is going to be 2480. All right, I'm going to take that first equation and solve it for X. So I'm going to bring it down here so we can see. That means I'm solving for X, so it'd be 14X equals 12 minus 5. All right, we're going to divide everybody by 14. Okay, let's see if we can put this into decimals. If not, we're going to have to leave it as fractions. All right. 12 divided by 14 has a large decimal, so we're going to leave it like that. All right, we're going to take my answer right here and plug it in here. So 10 parentheses 12 divided by 14 minus 5 divided by 14y plus 15 equals 24 80. All right, let me show you how you would do the whole multiplication. So you would put 10 parentheses, the 12 divided by 14. All right, but we're still gonna want to leave it as, all right, so let's see how it gives you a decimal, so we don't want to do that. So 10 times 12 divided by 14. It won't reduce the fraction for you. Let's see if we can plug in here and try to get it. There it goes. Click on there, right there, and it's going to tell you the fraction that you want, which is 10 over 20. And then the other one was 10.
Can I get 4?
No.
Can I get 2?
And we just click on here, and it's going to tell you what the
fraction. Can I get 2? 1?
If you take your cough medicine.
I will.
Just 1 minute, guys. Can you give me your sister's cough medicine to give her some cough medicine?
Because I have been having a lot of internet.
Alright. The decimals calculator will also help you with adding fractions. And then remember just to put the fraction, click there to get your fraction back, okay? And then that will help you a lot. I'm so sorry. Oh, this little girl has too much. Alright, so they gave us an ordered pair. So we can go ahead and... Shh. Alright, so you have two options. You can go ahead and plug in the ordered pair, or you can just graph them because they're both in y equals. So we would just click all these X boxes to get rid of everything. I'm so sorry. But we would get all this. Allá arriba del little bar. Ahí, the little bar. Y dame la jeringa.
The one next to the kitchen?
Uh-huh. Negative x minus 4. Okay, and we will see it. Dámelo para dárselo. Negative 4. No. Here's a negative 4, but this is a positive 4, so that won't work out. So that's what you're going to do. Type in the first equation, see if you can match it to one of these lines. If you can, then type in the second equation. Turn it in, see if it matches the second equation. Okay. Alright guys, I told y'all they were sick, so that's why.
Mommy, can I get 4?
No.
Please?
Llévate toda la medicina. Toda la medicina.
I'm getting it.
Toda.
Mommy.
Okay, let me finish this, mommy. I will finish this. Alright, this one's already great.
Can I do your drink? What is this?
It doesn't have anything else anymore. Where's your soda?
Here.
Alright, I'm going to set it up for you. You already have the y equals, so 3x minus 5. Y. Instead of the y, we're going to put negative 5. X plus 32. I'm sorry that they're talking. Oh, their trip. Okay. Alright, so this is going to help you solve for x, which is exactly the one they want you to solve for. Okay, and you should know all your other steps to solving the equations. Alright, for this last question, all you're going to do is figure out if the ordered pairs that you have are in the shaded region. So 0, 0 is over here. So this one's automatically out. 0, 3. 0, 3 is on that solid line, so that's okay. It's part of the solution. I just need to go and check the next and the next. But if it's like letter A, where we did 0 times 0, 0, and 0's out, not in the shaded part, then it's not a solution. It has to be on the solid line or in the shade. It cannot be in the unshaded or in the dashed line. Those would not be solutions. All right, so this was the substitution method, And I'm going to stop this video here and go over how to do this for the elimination method. Sorry for the talking in the background.